In the world of ancient Egyptian mythology, in the beginning was silence. There was nothing. No sky, no earth, no sun, no stars. Rather, there was thick silence, impenetrable darkness, and gelatinous waters without form, color, or direction. Those waters were not merely emptiness, but Nun, a great, eternal ocean, within whose depths pulsed an unknown mystery, a mighty power churning within it, yet unborn. And in the heart of this eternal stillness, the first light emerged. A light unlike any sun, but a feeling of will, thought, or action. Thus, the god Atum was born. Before anything existed in the world, there was only absolute darkness, and the eternal waters called Nun and endless sea of chaos and nothingness. In the midst of this deep sea, on a small hill called Ben, or the first hill, a great and incomparable God emerged. Atum, the self-created God. Atum came from the darkness as a flash of light, relying on his own will and power. He needed no one to create him. He was all in all. The perfect being who contained within himself all that was to come. The perfect being who contained within himself all that was to come. Atum raised his hands toward the sky, which did not yet exist, and created the first breath of air. Shu, who fills the universe with life and banishes darkness, then from his light tears was born Tefnut, the goddess of moisture, who brought moisture and water to the universe, which gives life. Thus, Atum began his journey from nothing to something, from nothingness to existence. Each day, Atum swam in the waters of Nun, watching the first sun rise, illuminating a new world. When it set, Atum symbolized the sun bidding farewell to the day and sinking into the depths of the underworld, ready to begin a new cycle. In this way, Atum created the universe, and from him sprang all gods, humans, and all beings. He is the first God, the beginning of all things, and from him flows life, order, and creation. Atum was alone, and from his body he created the first twins in existence. Shu, the god of air, the breath of life. Not, the goddess of moisture and dew, the first breaths of rain. Legends differed about how they were born. It was said that he masturbated, and the twins emerged from him. It was said that he spat, and they were his sacred saliva, but everyone agreed that their birth was the first spark of true creation. Shu was the first breath, the air that breathed life into the universe. With his powerful hand, he lifted the sky from the earth, separating them to create a vast void of pure air. With this separation, order began to emerge, and the sky took its lofty place and the earth its solid place. But Shu's task was not easy. The sky was very heavy, and if Shu had not kept it elevated, it would have fallen onto the earth, destroying everything. So Shu remained steadfast, carrying the sky on his shoulders, tireless and unflagging, maintaining the balance of the universe. The air that Shu controlled was the secret of life. It brought breath to all beings and banished darkness and stagnation. For this reason, he was venerated as the god of life and movement. Over time, Shu became a symbol of purity and serenity, as well as the power that maintains harmony among the forces of nature. In the dawn of time, when the earth was still parched and dry, Tefnut gently roamed the sky, carrying with her the moisture of life and the morning dew. Tefnut watched over the white clouds that bloomed over the mountains, whispering to the leaves to open their embrace to the dewdrops, thus beginning to awaken the earth from its slumber. Tefnut tenderly watched over every flower and grain of soil, scattering her moisture to nourish plants and refresh souls. When the morning breeze passed, she left behind traces of dew, glittering like natural jewels on the leaves. It is said that anyone who has not seen Tefnut in their day has missed the blessing of purity and life that her moisture bestows. She is always remembered as a symbol of mercy and tranquility that comes with the beginning of each day. Shu and Tefnut disappeared into the labyrinths of Nun. Atum was alarmed, concerned for his offspring, and sent his divine eye to search for them in the eternal, watery darkness. The eye scoured the universe until it found them and returned them to their father. When Atum saw them again, he shed tears of joy. From those tears, man was born. But man was not a planned creation. He was the result of emotion, born of a moment of crying. Creation expanded, heaven and earth. Shu and Tefnut united, and from them were born Geb, the god of the earth, rough and fertile, lying on his back. His laughter was believed to cause earthquakes and to represent the earth from which plants and life sprang. Nut, the goddess of the sky, represented the sky and was often depicted as a woman stretched out above the earth, her body adorned with stars, her arms and feet touching the earth as if bowing down to protect the world. The lovers had to be separated, so Shu raised the sky high, separating it from Geb, the earth. Thus, distances, day, night, and life were created. Geb, the god of the earth, and Nut, the goddess of the sky, were inseparable lovers. They were always embracing, nothing separating their bodies. But this love upset the balance of the universe. There was no room for beings, light, or life. Here, the god Shu, the god of the air, intervened and separated the lovers. He lifted Nut high above, making her the dome of the sky, and stretched her body across the entire universe, while Geb remained below, weeping over her separation. From his tears, rivers were born. Nut stretched out above us, never ceased to give. Every evening, Nut swallowed the sun, carried it inside her body, and each morning gave birth to it anew. So that day would return to the world. From the union of Geb and Nut, the greatest generation of gods was born. Osiris, the lord of resurrection and fertility, a symbol of order and goodness, a god who carried within his heart the scales of justice. He is Osiris, lord of the underworld, and a symbol of order and goodness in ancient Egypt. Osiris was beloved by humans and gods alike, a just ruler of the earth, spreading crops and growth and teaching people agriculture and justice. He was a king unlike any other king, but a compassionate father and a loving brother. Osiris was beloved by humans and gods alike, a just ruler of the earth, spreading crops and growth, and teaching people agriculture and justice. But goodness is not complete without its antagonism to evil. Osiris had a jealous brother named Set, the god of chaos and storms. His heart was filled with hatred, and he sought to overthrow Osiris, plunging the world into darkness and desolation. At a wicked banquet, set a trap for his brother, tempting him with a luxurious chest that he said was only for those who fit his fancy. Osiris entered the chest. Set sealed it, imprisoned him inside, and then threw him into the Nile. So that the good god would die, and the gods and humans would weep over him. But the story didn't end there. Isis, Osiris's faithful wife, appeared and roamed the earth to gather his remains and restore him to life through the power of love and magic. Thus, Osiris was no longer king of the earth, but rather the god of the underworld, ruler of the dead, and judge of souls. From his underworld, Osiris remained a symbol of justice, measuring the hearts of men with his golden scales, judging who deserves bliss and who will my desolations swallow. Thus, Osiris remained forever a symbol of goodness, reminding men that truth never dies, but always returns, even from the heart of darkness. Isis, the great sorceress, protector of life, and faithful wife. Isis possessed incomparable magical powers, which she learned from the gods and even from her deception of the god Ra himself. In one of the most famous myths, Isis created a magical snake to bite Ra when his pain intensified. She refused to heal him unless he revealed his secret name, the name that granted him cosmic power. Once he spoke it, Isis possessed unparalleled magic and rose to prominence among the gods. But power wasn't her goal. She sought love, justice, and the protection of her son. After her husband, Osiris, was killed by his brother, Set, she began her epic journey. She scoured the earth in search of his body, reunited his shattered remains, and used her powerful magic to bring him back to life in the underworld, where he would become the master of the underworld. Bravely, she hid her son, Horus, in the swamps of the Delta, protecting him from the forces of evil and instilling in him the values of royalty and truth. He grew up to become a warrior, claiming his father's throne. Isis is not just a goddess. She is a symbol of motherhood and sacrifice, a mistress of magic and healing, and a beacon of hope for all who have lost their way. In the hearts of the ancient Egyptians, Isis was not only worshipped, but also the mother, the protector, and the invincible sorceress. Set, the lord of chaos and storms, wrath incarnate. Deep in the hot desert, where the sands meet the dark, cloudy sky, appears Set, the god of chaos and storms. A symbol of raging rage. According to ancient Egyptian mythology, Set was an uncontrollable force of nature, ruling storms and thunder, stirring up violent winds that tore apart everything in its path. Set represented the brutal side of the universe, the perpetual struggle between order and chaos, constantly fighting to prove his strength against the other gods. He held a spear, symbolizing explosive rage, and his eyes glowed like embers, igniting the fire in the hearts of his enemies. But despite his cruelty, Set was essential to maintaining the balance of the world. He prevented stagnation and brought about change from the heart of chaos. He was the storm that paved the way for a new dawn, the rage that set the wheel of life in motion. Nephthys, goddess of mystery, shadow, and the end. At the heart of a world visible only to those with the eye of the soul. She was the twin of Isis, the protective mother, but she carried a different secret within her heart. The secret of an end that concealed new beginnings. Nephthys grew up in the shadows of the night, amidst the whispers of the trees and the echoes of the wind. Watching with eyes that saw only what was hidden, guarding the gates of the worlds between life and death. She was not just an ordinary goddess. She was the protector of all that lingers in the shadows, of all the secrets that humans dare not face. One night, as the gods gathered at the summit of the holy mountain, a strange darkness enveloped the sky, and the moon glowed a blood-red hue. Everyone realized that Nephthys was experiencing a moment of great power, controlling the river of life and death. Humans were to respect the boundaries of the shadows she guarded, for they guided souls on their final journey. Mythology says that those who follow Nephthys' shadow are never the same again. Every ending holds within it a gateway to a new beginning, and every farewell carries the promise of meeting in other worlds. Within her wings, souls learn how to embrace mystery, and how light is born from the heart of darkness from then on. Nephthys became a symbol of all that is hidden, of every journey that begins when another journey ends, of every secret revealed only to those worthies of knowledge. Thus, the Ennead of Heliopolis was completed. 9 gods who shaped the fabric of the world and were witnesses to the first age, the time of the gods. The eternal conflict paradise did not last long. Set. The Lord of Chaos envied his brother Osiris, killed him, and tore his body apart. But Isis, the faithful enchantress, gathered his remains and restored him to life. From this union was born Horus, the falcon god, the vengeful heir to the sacred throne. From that moment on, the eternal battle began between order and chaos, between Horus and Set, between justice and destruction. A battle that will never end, but will recur in the heart of every being.